Hello, America. Blaze Guy Blaster here, and welcome back to another Crossing Worlds director commentary. And today we're looking at episode 2, Out of Context. This episode was initially going to be what was going to be like episode 1B, back when I had the idea of making it 2 11-minute episodes meshed into one actual 22-minute episode or something like that. This was going to be it, so I had already had an idea of it. Originally there was going to be a credit song, but I scrapped it after deciding to make each episode original or of its own. This is also, I'm pretty sure, the first episode that my friend Sophia Leclerc has a credit in. She's a good friend of mine. She and me had Sierra Clash in freshman year, and then when I started making the series, I asked her to help me look through scripts to make sure everything looked good, like no plot holes or anything. She has corrected me in one of the song lyrics for a future episode, saying, because one of the lyrics was, this guy was unbreakable like obsidian, and she told me actually it's very breakable. Minecraft has lied to me, but that's what I get for even trusting Minecraft. Felix's head was very fat for a second. So yeah, she helps me look through scripts. She'll give me some advice on where a plot should go. Not as much, but I'd like to think that she does. Also, that title card or thumbnail, if you will, for the name of the episode, that was probably the laziest one, because originally it's going to be Beached Out was going to be the name of the episode, but then I changed it, so it was a little bit of a last minute thing. I've been also noticing this. I'm not sure if I said in the pilot, but I think I said something along the lines, or maybe I was just talking about color palettes and that. Felix's house, sometimes I worry will make little to no sense on how it's built. Especially with later episodes where I had to make more shots of it, like in Double Trouble when Jake's walking around looking for cleaning supplies. Where is it? The house on the outside looks so small. It's like the Overlook Hotel layout all over again. Also, the background, the scrolling background, that was just a green screen. And, this shot of a car, moving like a maniac right there, that was just a, JPEG, which is why the keyframes were awful. Oh, there's Earl the Seagull in the background. He never leaves his spy. He's always at that beach. I suck at drawing animals that aren't supposed to be humanoid animals like Felix, so that's why some animals will just be still. It's lazy, but it saves time for more important stuff. Also, those two aliens in the pilot, in the flashback that where Jake is explaining how he went through multiple dimensions. Those are the same aliens that gave him the cloak, or the same type. And that's basically my way of saying Jake was there the longest. After he was there the longest. Apparently I was wrong about Earl the Seagull. He does randomly disappear. Also, that's an interesting power of Jake's, to move the sun, that I've somehow never used so far. It was just for a one-off gag, but I realized I just made Jake 10 times more powerful than he already was. That shot of him underwater, that could have been better. It just looks like I just drew an outline of him. Oh, great, we get shirtless. Eat your heart out, queers. So, the point of this episode, I made this episode specifically because, I didn't want Jake to already understand like human culture, even though he was at first like some type of human. So this episode was like a nice like little filler comedic episode, and also, yep, pride flag, not subtle at all.
See, I'm capable of some stuff.
That was kind of smooth. Rip.
Oh my god. Sorry about that, dude.
Oh yeah, blue hair.
Yeah, sure.
I tried getting a bunch of my friends, like, and by that I just mean one of my closer friends and my brother to voice him, but they refused to voice him since he had that like, oh, so rod kind of accent. So I had to do him, like, oh my gosh, blue hair, long next to name. That is the worst soccer ball ever known to man. Oh yeah, that beatbox scene right there, that was like my way of adding it in while trying to change a little bit of the plot. I'll talk about that later. So as I was saying, I didn't want Jake to already know like human customs, so this was like a nice like comedic episode, nice filler, but it also like felt like understandable. Like Jake wouldn't know humanity already. That totally does not look awful. Like but if you saw that was awful, I realized I cannot sing. Well, I'm a tenor, but when I try singing higher than I can, it sounds awful. I originally had words like white and black like this because I saw it. One, it would be a bit easier to animate because I was like, I don't know, I was taking a lot of time with other scenes, especially with like climax stuff that I'll get to later. But this also still ended up being the hardest or longest scene to animate. This whole song, and it wasn't even worth it. That's the sad part. It wasn't even worth it because my singing does not make it worth it. Half the people skip it. Also, I realized this is like one of the, as of right now, this is like the only episode where there are swears in it. This is the only episode so far. But that's not important. So yeah, I just need a way to fill up time because my original idea was kind of going, like, was being scrapped. I like that rotating effect. Also, this scene here, or this part here, is where I finally decide on a conflict. Jake breaking Felix's legs. Also, a quick fact. With the store, you can see a newspaper clipping of Felix being an alien, a fired image of random job guy, and characters from my other shows, like the cashier is Tada from Writer's Block. You can also see the gentleman from Writer's Block. You can also see Patrick from Night in Shivertown. Anyway, so this scene was just like the quickest conflict I could think of, because I had a few other ideas. Felix, for some reason, a bomb gets strapped on Felix, and after Jake goes home, after that whole beatbox incident, because that was actually supposed to happen and not be like a dream. So Jake rushes there and swings it into the ocean. Originally, then Jake was going to meet like this wizard guy that teaches Jake about idioms, but I didn't know how I was going to turn that into a conflict or anything. So I decided where Jake takes another metaphor way out of proportion, and this ended up being, in my brother's opinion, the funniest moment in all of Crossing Worlds. And I feel like it goes well with like Jake's still trying to learn about, like, you know, like, figures of speech in this world. So, it didn't end up being worth it. So, this is also where, I then start hinting on another character that will be more prominent later on. I don't want to say much about them, but so I'm not going to say too much. But all I will say about this character, you'll see him in a second.
Sonnets.
That's just like a minion. That's not like really important. Yeah, this guy, this big boy. You can see him in the flashbacks in episode 3 when Master Ronald was like talking about like Jake's powers or like demi candidates, and at the end of episode 4. Also, in the bakery's menu in the pilot, you can also see this sign that says "Dark Circle watching me." That can also be alluding to him, but who knows? Also, he can hold plans with the palm of his hand. But that's all I'm really going to say. So that wraps up Out of Context. If you like what you saw, leave a like and subscribe, and I'll be doing more audio chat commentaries. Also, I am so sorry to Sophia for misspelling her last name. The Law and Claire are separate. But thanks very much for watching, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye-bye!